those of you on social media probably have an idea what we're talking about this morning because the news is just breaking. I mean, it broke very late last night, and we're not here to bash anybody. We're just telling you what we read on social media. So I think by next week, it will continue to brew, and hopefully by next week, we'll have more information and more data to work with. But as of this morning, what we have is that Timi Dakolo's wife is breaking or crashing the internet about telling us what happened to her, I think, before the age of 18, while she was a worker in a church, how her spiritual father forced himself into her. And it was a graphic description of what happened. And you know, recently, Timi Dakolo actually came out to say a certain pastor
leaves women unbroken.
Leaves women unbroken
across states.
Across the states, and that he had enough evidence. Many people did not know that he was actually referring to his wife.
Hey.
And his wife has come out today to say she's the one he was referring to, and comes up with this graphic story of this man of God. Now, Instablock has mentioned the name of the pastor. I personally don't like mentioning pastors' names because we can't use one pastor to tarnish the image of all good pastors. So I personally don't squeeze your face, that's your business. I personally don't like that, but let us just put him as pastor and her. But in your view, when you heard the story, what came across your mind?
We've discussed this thing before when Timi first broke this table. And people were saying that, why is he bringing it up? He said he had it on good authority, that he has, he knows the person that was involved, and that he was bringing it up because it was still ongoing. So the issue, why I feel we should discuss it, is because according to Timi Dakolo, it is still ongoing. His wife, a photographer and a mother, said this happened to her before she was 18. So it was years back. But she's saying it now because she has heard that the man is still doing it. How long are we going to? We can't keep silent because we think, oh, it's not relating to us personally, or because he's a man of God, or because he's respected, or he's a popular person. If he is still taking advantage of women, then every woman that has experienced this should speak up and rally round each other and prosecute this man.
Hey.
When this news broke, when Timi Dakolo mentioned this, a lot of people went for him. A lot of people.
Yeah,
people totally did not even fight. They refused to deal or address the issue. They focused on the person of Timi.
Thou shalt not touch.
And the fact that he's an anointed man of God, and he shouldn't criticize or question a pastor. But does this confession change the entire scope of what we're talking about now?
She's not confessing to anything. She's sharing an ordeal. I survived 2 rape attempts. Thank God they were attempts. And I witnessed in the community I lived in how an Afa was accused by a girl of having raped her. And everybody just rushed at the girl for seducing him.
On hijab.
Nobody listened to... She wasn't on hijab. But even then, even though she wasn't wearing the hijab, everybody just rushed at the girl for seducing him. Nobody wanted to know.
Let me pause you for a second, because there's some people that have no idea what this lady said. So let me just share that. So what she said, according to the video that I broke, is that I think she was in a hotel.
Yes.
So she had a knock.
She was in her own house.
Is it her own house?
According to the one I listened. Okay. He visited the house, and it was a duplex, but it was a big place.
Yes.
And when you opened the door, this is a person of respect, person that you know, and came into her living room. I didn't listen to 6
and 7 a.m. very early, and she was in her pajamas.
Yeah.
She was really shocked. She was in a nightgown. What is this man of God? He stepped in. He didn't say a word, according to her.
And remember, she was less than 18. She was still a young teenager.
Yes. So he walked in, and of course she was initially frightened. Then he holds up her mouth and told her that, Busola, don't say a word. Just do as I asked you to do. And then he removed everything under her underwears, and then he went into her. Now, that's where the story practically ended. Now, hearing this kind of confession, let me come back to you, Nima. What do you make of it?
Unfortunately...
Can she still press charges?
Of course she can. If we can get witnesses who can confirm that at that point in time this was a visit. But it will be a real serious struggle, because to even establish rape is to successfully establish rape is largely based on getting the evidence, and it's already too late for that.
Can he sue her? Because this is just her words against him.
He should sue. Okay, he should sue. It's still his words against hers.
Okay.
And now he should be tilting more on the balance of circumstances for the court to determine whose side is stronger.
Right.
Which is why I said every other person.
Because if you risk suing her, more women can come out.
Unfortunately for him, if he
That's
tries
what I'm
it,
hoping.
more women and even people with fresher cases might come out and he would lose his case.
may
And
be
then
able
she
to
would have
establish
a
evidence.
strong case. For her to come out now, she knows that she has more people on her side.
Hey.
It's usually annoying when people do not understand psychologically what a young girl would go through trying to establish her innocence. I remember when one of those cases happened. Unfortunately, we were a strong Muslim family and a strong Christian family raised this boy. So they just played it along religious line like I was stupid. I remember my mom flaring and shouting, and everybody was just trying to kill the story like I was stupid. He came into my father's house on my own bed and attempted such on me. If I wasn't a strong person or, I was outspoken and he was afraid that this would go public, I probably would have finished the job.
Right.
And when I came out and I said it, the first thing mother said, and that's how I would have lost if he had achieved that. Nobody would have listened to my side of the story.
Right.
It's painful. Psychologically, it's not easy for anybody to try to continue to establish their innocence. And it brings you to that point where you become tough, there's no rubbish I can take from anybody. And then people will not see you like someone that is not, that's too hard.
Yeah, let me come to you.
Like, my heart is so broken this morning. I don't even know where to start from. First of all, I want to commend her for her strength coming out at the moment. I know if she had come out earlier, maybe would have gotten somewhere. But now it's been a long time since she was 18. She should be like in her 30s now. But then the fact that she came out will give a lot of young women out there who have gone through one of these things to come out there and share their ordeals, to encourage people that when somebody comes out to say, I have been raped or something like this happened to me, we shouldn't focus on naming and shaming the victim. We should focus on finding the root cause. And I remember when we discussed that issue here, a lot of people attacked us. Hey, you people are talking about the man of God, people are talking about this. And I said, there is no smoke without fire. What we should be thinking of is how to investigate and make sure that what they are saying actually is not true. And not just to say that you don't talk to a man of God like that because he's a man of God. He's first a man before the man of God.
Let me take this call from Comfort. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Maria.
Go ahead, please.
It's not a shame that things like this are going on in our society and we are not addressing it.
Okay.
Personally, I'm a victim. I think I was 16 years old.
Survivor.
I'm in my mid-30s now. And I could not confide in anybody until almost the time I was getting married. I had to open up to my fiancé. It's heartbreaking when you see things going on like this in our society. Young girls being taken advantage of by so-called men of God who they are supposed to trust in. For my own, I was not close to the pastor. I was not his church member. I was just passing through the church all of the time, and it was like, oh, you look very sexy. Look at the hair on your hairs and all of that.
Thank you very much for sharing that. Yes, Dr.
I think that we need to encourage everyone, and I want to do this opportunity to encourage everyone that has been abused by this said pastor to stand up in support of every woman that your statement will prevent this from happening again. We cannot keep quiet while a powerful man in the court of being powerful would oppress people and will all just shut up and worship the person.
Right.
He is a man. And so it should be dealt with as a man.
This story just broke. That's what we're mentioning. But we can't exhaust it, so we're definitely going to make it a topic. When by Monday, I'm sure more angles have come up and we'll have more things to talk about. So it's just to share with you what broke.